What's going on, YTBC? Shout outs to all the YTBC channels making videos. You know, I don't make a lot of videos. I make them once in a while because, you know, I'm kind of busy. And I do watch and comment, try to comment a lot, but, you know. Well, you know, I'm gonna talk about something here, you know. I think this needs to be addressed, you know, in this community. You know, the thing is, man, we ask too much on these fighters, man. We ask too much of these guys, man. You know, and it seems as if these fighters, it's like they have this. They have to do certain things just to please us. You know what I'm saying? And how would you feel you doing your job and people always being critical, no matter how you do your job? Like, you do it well, you know, you do it fast, or you did it too fast. You do it at a slow pace, you doing it too slow. You doing it at a medium pace. Oh man, you need to move faster. You know, can you imagine at your job people doing that to you all the time? And the reason why I'm saying this is this, man. When we look at fighters like Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, you know, we look at these guys, and there's always a layer of excuse for what these guys accomplish. There's always this group of people, and you know who they are. Like, there's always this group of people who, before every fight, they have this question. They put this question mark. You know, they put this question mark or this layer of doubt or this thing on the fight, so that after the fight is over, well, especially with Floyd, not really with Andre Ward fights, but because Andre Ward is really just new to the scene, you know, of the media scene like that. So there's always a question or something put right before the fight that's not really too much of a problem, but they put it in there so that after the fight is over, these guys are discredited. You understand? Same thing with the young fighter, Adrian Broner. Same thing with him. And you see, like, all right, let's take example of Floyd Mayweather way back with Ricky Hatton. What was the excuse before the fight? Ricky Hatton is coming up in weight. But even though but nobody was really paying attention to that, because people thought Ricky Hatton was a threat. Oh, Ricky Hatton, oh, for nobody like Ricky Hatton, oh, this and that. Once he beats him, so they dug that excuse back up and put it in the forefront to discredit the win. Now it's the same thing. It was the same thing with Marquez, and it was the same thing with Shane Mosley. He was old, you know. Same thing with everybody else. So there's always this thing before the fight. That wasn't a big issue, but so that once the fight after the fight ends, they could always bring it back up and just put it in the forefront to discredit the fight. You know, it's the same thing with this Canelo fight. You see what they're doing. You know, a 22-year-old boy. Like, they're saying that he's drained this 22-year-old boy. He's 22 years old. He can easily lose 2 extra pounds by taking a shit and pissing, man. Do you remember when you were 22? What you could do with your body? This is crazy. And they have the excuse that he's too green. This guy has 46 fights. 46 fights. I don't care who you fought. You're not green anymore. I don't care who you fought. You're not green. All right? If you can beat guys like Shane Mosley and Austin Trout, you're not freaking green. All right. Anyways, man, these excuses are already coming out, so that when this fight, after this fight happens, if Floyd wins, then these are going to be the excuses to discredit that win. And now you got the same things happening with Andre Ward. People talking about, oh, who did he fight in his tournament? Everybody. He fought everybody. That's who he fought. Everybody. Like, what the hell you mean, who did he fight? He fought everyone. The ones who weren't in the tournament, that's their problem. The ones who got beat in the tournament, that's their problem. Why should Andre Ward have to worry about somebody else's success in the tournament? He came in the tournament, so what? Even if they did put that tournament together just for him, just to put him in the limelight, guess what? He beat those guys. Name some more guys at 160, 168 that he needs to fight. The only two people they're talking about is Andre Dirrell and damn Bute. Did Ward ever say he won't fight Andre Dirrell? Did he ever say he won't fight Bute? It never came out of his mouth. You know, like, it's a ladder. People don't understand, man. This is a ladder. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's a ladder. There's a ladder in boxing. In the boxing game, it's a ladder you have to climb. How do you climb that ladder? You beat people. You keep beating people. You keep winning. And the more you win, the closer you get to the top of the ladder. And when you actually reach that pinnacle, that top of that ladder, now people have to come up to knock you down that ladder so they can take your spot. And let's say one guy is 2 steps away from the top to come knock you down, and the guy a step behind him pulls his ass down. Do you think that same guy who got pulled down still deserves to just skip over the guy who just pulled him down to get to you? No. You think a guy like Bute, who just got his ass beat, by Carl Froch, deserves a chance before Carl Froch does? You crazy. It's a ladder, man. You gotta look at it as a ladder. Bunch of guys climbing that ladder like a pyramid. They're all climbing, and you on the top. Or let's say Ward is on the top, and here is Bute 2 steps away into getting into the top of the ladder, beating Ward's ass or whatever you think may happen in that fight, so he can take the top of the pyramid. And here comes Carl Froch, grabs him and throws him down the damn steps. Bute got to climb back up, throw Froch down, and go to get back to where he needs to be. You understand? It's the same thing with every weight class or every division or whatever the hell it is that you're doing. Like, do you honestly think right now that Manny Pacquiao should get a Floyd fight after getting knocked out by Juan Manuel Marquez before Marquez? A rematch. Like, before Marquez rematch. Like, I really don't think Pacquiao should get a Mayweather fight unless he goes and proves himself again. Climb back that ladder. He needs to prove himself. Beat a couple people. You know what I'm saying? Look good. So when people are saying things like, "Oh, Ward didn't fight Bute, or he didn't fight Andre Dirrell," how is that his problem, man? He never said no to those fights. Wasn't Andre Dirrell in the tournament? What happened to him? Why didn't he make it to fight Ward? Why Bute didn't join the tournament? That's not his problem. His problem is to collect checks and tax ass. And whoever they put in front of him. Now that he's on top of the division, he's just waiting for somebody to climb up. Whoever decides to get to the top of the ladder and get their ass spanked, that's who's next. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop being so critical of these guys, man. I applaud Floyd Mayweather for taking that fight with Canelo. For taking a fight with a 22-year-old young beast who walks around in the 180s, 185 probably. Who comes in fight night 170 plus. Who hits like a Mack truck. Had a guy who's been getting hit all the time doing the stinky leg. Who's been hit by hard guys like Miguel Cotto doing the stinky leg. This young guy here is not green. 40 plus fights, 46 fights. Fighting guys like Austin Trout. Even if it was a close fight, that makes him not a green fighter. 2 pounds for a 22-year-old man to shit out and piss is nothing. You know what? Take a goddamn laxative and go in the bathroom and take a dump. That's 2 pounds right the fuck there. You need to stop. You all need to stop being critical of these fighters, man. Just give credit where credit is due. Andre Ward is one of the top fighters in the world. If you look at it historically, there's no such thing as a number 2 pound for pound. There's no such thing. Historically, there's only one fighter that's supposed to be pound for pound. But if you were going to rate a fighter and say, look, I think after the pound for pound fighter, I think these fighters are the next best fighters. Okay? So you cannot say, there's only 1 pound for pound. Okay? So if you decide that it's Mayweather, or if you decide that it's Ward, then that person is the pound for pound. There's no pound for pound list. There's a pound for pound, and there's other fighters who are good. This guy is he's the second best fighter in this era, and he's the third best fighter of this era. But the pound for pound is that fighter. You understand? So. But the thing is, you cannot discredit these fighters, these other fighters, like Andre Ward. You cannot discredit this man. This man is a great fighter. And to me, because of the lack of shine on his career and the lack of people that he's fought, that's what really kills me when I can't really put him as pound for pound, because he does not have the resume, the longevity to really. If Andre Ward had at least 10 more or 6 more really good fights, opponents, or top opponents, then I would put him as my pound for pound. And seeing how Floyd has been fighting at 36 years old, young guys, young men, not guys his age, except for Miguel Cotto, but young men. You think about it. Let's go back. Victor Ortiz, young guy. Robert Guerrero, young guy. Now a Canelo Alvarez, a young. I cannot. This, to me, as an older man, to me, makes me put Floyd as the pound for pound. You understand? But if Ward's resume was a little longer and have more top names in it, he probably would be the pound for pound for me. But at this moment, it would have to be Floyd Mayweather. What we need to start doing, man, is being grateful for these fighters that we have. Ward having shoulder problems, all these things. We don't know how long we're going to have this guy here for. You know what I'm saying? We got the young kid coming up, Adrian Broner, who also, this guy's life is going to be hell. You think Floyd had it bad? Wait till this guy starts winning and being, Floyd-like. And people are going to start just killing. Every fight that he has, he's going to be discredited. And that he's going to have no hope. Trust me. It's going to get worse. And as the media gets even broader and gets even better, technology, it's going to get worse, And I hope, man, we can stop putting so much expectations on these guys, Like, I look at the Floyd Mayweather situation as well. These guys are talking about him draining Canelo. Well, I didn't hear nobody say anything when Sugar Ray Leonard did it to Marvin Hagler. 2 pounds. This is the exact same amount. 2 pounds. For the middleweight title. For the middleweight title. Even though he said he didn't want the belt. After, I didn't want the belt. I just wanted to beat him. But you fought for the title for 2 pounds under the limit. And that's for all you boxing experts out there who wanna not give credit where credit is due. Well, how about this? Sugar Ray Leonard drained Marvin Hagler. How about that? But I bet you won't agree with that, will you? You see the two sides of the coin there. You see that? Didn't Roberto Duran come up in weight to fight Sugar Ray Leonard? Didn't he come up in weight? You know, question marks there, right? Can you imagine Sugar Ray Leonard's legacy in this new media era? Can you imagine all these question marks? Oh, he's draining the champ. Oh man, he just beat a lightweight. Can you imagine? You know, and I see the same for Andre Ward coming up soon. Soon enough, he's gonna want to make money because he's getting older. He's gonna want to make money, and he's gonna have to change his persona. He's gonna have to do certain changes, and he's gonna do certain changes, and he's gonna get more people not to like him. And when he does, you'll see how much discredit he's gonna get for any fights that he has. And those of you who are supposed to be boxing fans, you guys encourage this stuff. You criticize one fighter for one thing, and you praise another for the same thing. Y'all need to really stop this stuff before it starts, man. Y'all supposed boxing fans and boxing channels, y'all the ones advocating this stuff by being somewhat biased. How could you be mad at Canelo wanting to come down to 152 and not be mad at Dawson coming down to 168 from 175? That's 2 pounds for Canelo, and that's 7 pounds for Dawson. How could you be mad at those two when Sugar Ray Leonard made Marvin Hagler come down 2 pounds for the middleweight title? That's hypocrisy, man. You know? And my only thing is this. If you're gonna get mad, be mad about a catch weight that hurts the other fighter, man. That hurts him bad. Like, remember when Freddie Roach was talking about De La Hoya coming in to the ring with IV tracks in his arm because he couldn't rehydrate? Fighting somebody like that, now that calls for criticism. Like, damn, this guy was pretty much dead. His body wouldn't even take water. You got to pump it into his body through IVs. You know? Be critical of things that need to be critical of. Guys wrapping their hands in cement. Guys refusing steroid tests. Things like that. Guys failing steroids tests. Be critical of those things, man. You know what I'm saying? And we as a boxing community, we're allowing these casual fans and everybody else to put these doubts and these question marks and all these great fighters' wins. Anyways, man, that's all I have to say, man. Hopefully, man, this fight on September 14th still goes through. No injuries happen. Nothing goes and ruins the fight. And hope everybody tunes in. I mean, when a fight is great, we need to support these fighters. If it's a fight that we all want to see, pay the damn $50 or $60, whatever the hell, if you can afford it. Pay the damn money. Stop live streaming fights that we want to see. You understand? Stop live streaming fights that we want to see. Because once they see that we actually pay for the fights we want to see and don't pay for the ones that we don't want to see, then guess what? They're going to give us more of the fights we want to see. Alright, I'm out. Peace.